Good afternoon. Feels awesome to put on big girl shoes today. Yes, exactly. I would like to invite Josh first to relax and join us this afternoon. Thank you, Josh, for that lovely music. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Marlene Megas, and I'm the director of the Teacher Residency Program, the Connecticut Teacher Residency Program, and I am here to welcome you. I'd like to welcome our TRP residents, our teachers, their families, our supporters, our mentors, principals, assistant superintendents, Superintendent Tim Sullivan from Creek Schools, Superintendent Medancy from Southington Schools, Dr. Greg Florio, Executive Director of Creek, Representative Bobby Sanchez from the State Representative and also the Chair of the Education Committee, our distinguished speaker and instructor extraordinaire, Shay Lewis, my counterpart in everything that is done, Ushanda Mitchell. Auntie Ushanda, as everybody calls her. Lillian Lang from the Peter Lucia Carmen Buck Foundation, and Sapna Raghavan, otherwise known as Miss Connecticut, who is joining us today. We also have Martha Stone, who is the lead attorney for the Chef V. O'Neill case. And we are pleased to have so many supporters across the state and so many people joining us today for this very, very special event. It's been a long time since we began. Today we are here to celebrate those that have taken the chance on this brand new program to fulfill their dreams to become teachers. In 2017, Tim Sullivan decided we needed to change the face of those who stood up before our children at Creek Magnet Schools. Today, with the support of the Creek Agency and the RESC Alliance, public and private funding, we are here to celebrate our program graduates and those moving into their first year of teaching. These two cohorts have completed a rigorous curriculum focused on elementary education, had the hands-on experience of a full-time residency, and developed strong and lasting relationships with their cohorts and mentors, and also survived teaching in a pandemic. No stronger candidates exist. We are pleased to be all together this evening and welcome you to witness these amazing teachers who serve as windows and mirrors for our children. I would now like to invite our first speaker, before I get incredibly sappy, Executive Director of Creek, to give our opening remarks, Greg Florio.
Good afternoon, everyone. I know you have masks on, but you can be a little more enthusiastic than that. Good afternoon, everyone. I, too, am amazed at, again, a seed of an idea and what it has become and what it means in public education, not only at Creek, not only in the greater Hartford area, but across the state. If you think about every moment in time has some historical meaning. And every moment in time also is a seed that will mean something in the future. And if you think about what has happened in a few moments in the history of public education, right here at Creek, right here in the central Connecticut area, and now across the state, we are transforming the teaching force in our public schools. And we are transforming it in a way that is going to provide children an incredible opportunity to learn from passionate, caring educators, but educators who have a shared experience with the children that are sitting in that classroom. That is something that is invaluable in the lives of those children. One of the questions I was asked in the interview when I became the executive director of CREC after many years of being a superintendent of schools was, what do you think needs to happen so that more minority candidates, the term minority teacher program had been around for 50 years, got to classrooms? My answer was that it was going to require a generational change. That children sitting in classrooms today had to be inspired by someone in front of them to want to become a teacher. And that was always a challenge for children of color, because very often they would go from kindergarten through 12th grade and never see that role model that they could truly relate to. This program is changing that. This program is the seed that is going to create that generational change. There are children that you are going to see in a few weeks that in 18 years, no, not 18 years, 13 years, if they're kindergartners, when they go to college are going to say, I want to be a teacher because I had Mr. or Miss as my teacher when I was in elementary school. You are part of history. You are part of a seed that is truly going to change education for generations to come. I am so proud that during my tenure as executive director at CREC, this program blossomed. There are millions of people that I could thank for that. But think about this. In just a little over a year, from about a dozen residents here at CREC, we now have over 40 residents in 4 different parts of the state. Fairfield County, down in the New London area, and in New Haven County, and here in CREC. That is the kind of change that we need to see. And you are part of history. And for that, I congratulate you, and I thank you. And I wish you the best of luck.
You all did it first. So thank you, Greg. And we have great support at the state level, and that's why we are in multiple school districts, 24 school districts across Connecticut right now. And part of that support is State Representative and Chair of the Education Committee, Bobby Sanchez. He is a strong supporter of diversifying the teacher workforce and of our program. I'd like to invite him up to say a few words.
Thank you so much. And yes, I'm so glad that CREC is leading the way. You know, growing up myself here in the city of New Britain, Connecticut, when I was going to elementary school, I had only one teacher of color during elementary. When I went to junior high school, I only had one teacher of color. And then when I went to high school, I had 2. And, you know, growing up, I was like, something's wrong. I like to see more Latinos and more Black individuals teaching in our classrooms, and I don't see it. So I became a preschool teacher myself, and I taught for 20 years. Much smaller children, and of course, I had 20 in a classroom. Most of the time it was very difficult because they would give me all the kids that had ADHD, all the hyper kids. But guess what? I enjoyed it, and I made it happen. I made it work. And at the time, I asked, how many male teachers are in preschool? And I was the only male preschool teacher at the time in the whole state of Connecticut. And I also said, something's got to be done. We need some change. So when I ran for state representative in 2011, I immediately went on to the education committee, and I said, one day I'm going to lead this committee and we're going to make some big changes. And myself and Senator Doug McQuarrie are the first two people of color to chair the education committee. And we both decided we are going to make some really big changes in our educational system. And we did. We passed some laws. We did the minority teacher recruitment law. This past session, we decided that we needed to put more money into the teacher residency program. So we put some dollars behind that, and we added about 60 more slots. And when we go in next year, we're going to add more because it's working. And we need to see more teachers of color in the classroom. In the city of New Britain, there are about 70% of all the student personnel in our school system are children of color. And only 8% of the teaching staff are teachers of color. So we need to see some big changes. And this is, our students are telling us this. They're coming up and saying, hey, why can't I see someone like you at the front of the classroom? And so we're gonna continue to make this progress here in the state of Connecticut and move forward. We're doing some changes that have taken time, and of course, this is nothing that can get done within a couple of days. But guess what? We're getting there, and we're succeeding at it. We want to see more of what's going on here at CREC and throughout the state of Connecticut, and we want to add more additional dollars so that other public school systems throughout the whole state can also enjoy a program such as this one. And I want to congratulate each and every one of you that have gone through this program. Thank you so much for your hard work. Also, let's recruit more guys into preschool and into elementary school. We need to see more men in our schools. That's another area that we're lacking, and so I'm so happy to see a number of guys on this flyer here today, the program. It's great. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing, and thank you, Greg, thank you, CREC, and thank everyone here in this room for the support. And we're going to continue up at the state of Connecticut and at the Capitol. Believe me, we're not going to stop. We're going to continue moving forward. But thank you.
Thank you, Representative Sanchez. So at this time, I'd like to welcome Superintendent of Schools Tim Sullivan, whose idea came about many years ago.
Thank you, everybody. First, I'd like to start off by thanking Representative Sanchez and Dr. Florio, because an idea is only an idea until somebody puts some money behind it. And when I got the committee together and we talked about this and we put a price tag on it, and I went to Dr. Florio and I said, hey, I think we can do this, and it's going to cost us $800,000 out of our budget this year to create a program. He didn't hesitate. He said, absolutely, let's do it. And then we went to Representative McQuarrie, or Representative Sanchez and Senator McQuarrie, and said to them, here's an idea, it works. It's expensive, but it works. They said, don't worry, we're going to put money behind it. So thank both of you, because without the money, we wouldn't be where we are. So the kind of funny thing about the story behind this, and I think it's always good to know the history, is that we didn't read about it in a book. We didn't go to a conference and study about what's happening out in the country and replicate a program. We created it from scratch. And the way we started was we put out a call and we said, let's get some people in the room that are interested in this topic. And I see some of them here today, Yesenia Hernandez, and Yushanda Mitchell, and Marlene Megos, and Senator McCrory, and a bunch of other people just got together in a room and said, what could we do to make this happen? And the first question that was asked is, well, what are the rules? And I said, let's imagine a place where there are no rules. What would happen if we decided to reinvent the rules? What if we just changed the paradigms that are used to create the system that's in place? Because the system that was in place was inherently unfair and inherently onerous for young people to get certified to teach. And so we started saying, well, what are the obstacles? Well, if you want to become certified to teach in the state of Connecticut, you have to quit your job. And you have to go with no income for a year or two while you're doing your student teaching. We said, well, that's kind of a pain in the butt. Like, who's going to quit their job to become a teacher, right? And so we started going through and we started looking at all the things that were in place, and we came up with ideas of how we could get around that. Was it cheap? No, it wasn't cheap. Was it worth it? Absolutely. And what we decided to do is we decided to make an investment in people. And for me, it was an easy thing because I knew Jaquan Starks and Leonardo Watson and Rashonda Tyson, people that I had taught at Weaver High School, or I was their principal when I was at Classical Magnet. And I knew that they had the potential. I knew they were as good or better than the people I was hiring as superintendent or principal. What they didn't have is they didn't have a piece of paper that said they were certified to teach. And so we just had to find a way to make that happen. And then Tony Napoleon calls me and he goes, hey, I'm going to hire one of your former students, Simone Williston. But her name's not Williston anymore, but Simone Williston is how I know her. And I said, Simone, that's great. What is she going to be teaching? He goes, oh, she's not certified. She's going to have to be a para. And I said, Simone Williston is one of the most talented, bright, energetic, positive people I met in my 31 years as an educator. And she's going to be a para? Nothing against paras, but she's got the potential to have like a certified teacher career. She should be the one in the front of the classroom. And Tony said, no, she doesn't have her certificate. It was at that moment in time I said, you know what, we got to fix this now. The time for waiting is over. We can't be talking about it anymore. And a year later, Simone was testifying at the State Board of Education to get the program approved. We have created a wonderful, wonderful program, and I'm so proud of the work that Marlene and Yushanda have done to keep this program going, to expand it and do it the way we've done it is tremendous. And the real proof in the pudding is going to be like I'm experiencing now when you meet the children of the people you taught. So the residents and the people that are going into their teaching careers, when you meet the children of the families you taught, and they say to their children, hey, Dana, this is my teacher. This is the one that inspired me to be a better person. And that's going to happen for all of you. I did a mathematical calculation of how many people they would teach over the course of their career. And it's a lot of kids that are going to come through their classrooms. A lot of kids. And so if you take the cost of the program and you divide it by the number of kids that are impacted, it's not a lot of money. But it's a great program, and I'm just so proud. Feel like a proud father right now. Someday I'll be erased from the annals of history. Nobody will remember who I was. But the program will be going strong, and that's all I need. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, Tim, and yes, thank you for the funding, Greg and Representative Sanchez. So part of our program is specifically designed to have our classes taught by practitioners. And also, this ceremony, we wanted input from the class to design the ceremony. And the last class that our first cohort had was called a planning seminar. And planning seminar is designed to help get you the support that you need during your first year of teaching. So cohort 2 is about to transition to their first year of teaching. Cohort 1 is well beyond that, going into their second year. But all of them are very excited to have been touched by their guest speaker today. So Shay Lewis is an instructor, but she's also an assistant principal in this school. She's a great role model and a wealth of knowledge for our residents as they turn to their teaching career. So Shay, I'd like to invite you up.
Well, after that introduction, wow, I better bring it. Good afternoon. First, I want to thank you all for asking me to be your speaker today. I'm very honored. When I was thinking about what to write, I thought, oh, I could tell them stories about me and, things that I've experienced, but you all you've heard that in class with me, So I wanted to give you some words of inspiration, some nuggets that I wish I had known as an early teacher, okay? You are embarking on one of the most important adventures of your life, teaching children. As long as you believe that you are always putting your best foot forward and doing what is best for your students, execute it with fidelity and integrity, you will be successful. This can be accomplished by always asking yourself, is this in the best interest of children? If the answer is yes, you're doing the right thing. Collaboration, your best strategy. Work with your colleagues, rely on them, trust them, and recognize each other's strengths to create better teaching strategies and management. They are there to help you succeed. They don't want to see you fail. They want you to succeed. Truly be a lifelong learner. Reflect on your practice. Be honest with yourself about areas of need and finding ways to strengthen them. It is the wise man who says, I don't know, because that's how we learn. Lao Tzu says, the wise man is the one who knows what he does not know, has the courage to admit it and ask for help, because that is how we truly learn. Know that positive relationships are an avenue to success. Positive relations with your students, colleagues, administration, parents, office staff, custodial staff, kitchen staff, and anyone else that exists in your world. This will take time and work, but you will get through any tough situation as long as positivity is what's driving it. Learn from others, watch, observe, question, take notes, try different things, find what works best for you and make it your own. You are on a path to put your own personal puzzle together. You will have to sift through a lot of pieces to find the right fit to create your puzzle. It's going to take dedication, work, and time, but you've got this, and coming from my own personal experience, there's no other job more rewarding. Good luck, and let the adventure begin. So now I would like for you all to observe a montage to cohorts 1 and 2 that has been put together for them.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way, from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong. And what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken. The love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach. So remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you.
That was an awesome slideshow, Yoshonda. Thank you so much. So now we are going to recognize our first and second cohort of individuals. I'll give them a little bit of time to make their way forward. Feel free to come up and take pictures and, get closer if you want. This is a very special moment. So we have some members of the cohorts that are not able to join us this evening, and one thing that's true about this program is they work really, really hard, and they have 6 weeks of classes in the summer. So there are times when they want to take a vacation, and this happens to be one of the very few weeks where they're able to do that. So we don't have everybody with us, so we're going to recognize some people that won't be joining us, but others will. So first we have Simone Douglas. Now she's Douglas. And Simone will be starting her second year of teaching at Crack.
No, I don't. She might want to.
We'll take some. All right. And next we have Chris Gordon, who will also be doing his second year of teaching at Crack. Next, we have Dana McCorkle, who is also her second year of teaching at Crack. Next, we have Winston Roach. Winston is in his second year and will have the pleasure of teaching Yushanda's grandchild. Next, we have Jasmine Vasquez, also teaching in her second year at Crack. It's been a long time since I've seen some of these guys. And we have people who are not with us from cohort 1, Taylor Billington, Jared Willis, Stephanie Clark, and Todd Aviles.
All right, from cohort 2, we have Karen Adenican, who will be teaching at Crack Magnet Schools. Next, we have Tobias Caesar, who will be teaching at Crack Magnet Schools. Sashana Forbes, Crack Magnet Schools. Joshua Frito, Crack Magnet Schools. Yasmin Goodley, Crack Magnet Schools. Miltonette Hales, Crack Magnet Schools. Aurora Hill, Crack Magnet Schools. Richard Jernigan, Southington Public Schools. Giovanni Lawrence, Ellington Public School. Rashante Mundo, Crack Magnet School. Michelle Straker, Crack Magnet School. Kevin Taylor, Bristol Public School. Tammy Walton, Crack Magnet School. And then we also want to recognize Ovidio Munez. He's not here today, but he's Bristol Public School. I'm not a person that likes to speak in public. I like to do all my work behind the scenes. But I just wanted to take a few minutes before we close out to just say to our residents, both cohorts 1 and 2, that I'm so proud of you all. Don't. It has been a pleasure to work with you all over the last 2 years. I can honestly say that. Don't make me cry. I just get emotional because I think about what I went through to become an educator. I was the only person of color in my program. I was the only person of color during my first year of teaching, so I understand the things that you've gone through. And so that's why it was easy for me to take on this role as program coordinator when I first started. It was easy for me because I was able to connect to them and understand the things and the things that they went through each day because I had been through it myself. And so that's why I treated them like I treated my students when I was in the classroom for 15 years. I had high expectations, loved them, but I'm gonna come after you and say, this is what you need to do to stay on them because, again, I have high expectations not only for them, but for myself as well. So I just wanted to let you all know that during your next few years of teaching, take advantage of every opportunity that you are offered. Because as a professional, it will help you grow. As a teacher, it will help you grow. As a human, it will help you grow. You know, your students are gonna look up to you. And so I know that each and every one of you have worked hard. You have worked so hard to be where you are. No one gave you anything but an opportunity. And you deserve to be where you're sitting right now. So I just want to say, because you hear whispers and you hear people saying things, but you know what you did to get where you are. I know what you did to get where you are, and you deserve to be there. So congratulations. I am super proud of you. You're like my little kids. And so congratulations, that's all. I just want to say congratulations, I'm proud of you all. And so that kind of concludes our program. We want to thank everyone for coming out to celebrate and support our residents. We do have some refreshments and food. We have a food truck outside, so be sure to take your ticket and head out there and grab something to eat. Josh is gonna play a little music. We do want to send a special shout out to Rashante and Sashana, as well as Christine Pearson for putting this together. And also Josh for DJing some good music. So thank you all and enjoy the rest of the evening.